Hey y'all, it's Monique, and this is More Than Massage, the show where we go beyond the muscle into what's really happening in the body. And today I want to talk about something that every massage therapist runs into, but very few are actually trained to recognize. And that is the emotional pain that's being stored in our clients' bodies. Maybe it shows up as tension that they won't release. You ever have that client that's like rock hard and it doesn't matter how much pressure you do, what tools or resources you have, you might cup them and scrape them and hot towels and hot stones and all the things, and they still have that physical oomph that just won't move? That's what I'm talking about. Maybe it's a client that has pain that moves around or it releases for a while but comes back. You know, the one that leaves your table and feels amazing, and then the next time you see them a few weeks later, that same spot is stuck again. Maybe it's the client that says, I don't know why this keeps happening and nothing helps. They've tried it all. They do therapy, mindfulness, meditation, massage. They're doing all the right things, but for some reason, their body keeps holding this tension or this pain. And here's the thing, as a massage therapist, in your gut, you know as well as I do, this is not just physical. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about how to tell when a client is holding emotional pain, common patterns that might show up in the body, and what to do when you sense it's emotional, and also, as a practitioner, how to hold space without crossing that line or coming out of our scope of practice. Because this is part of our work. And when you know how to navigate it, you become better at your job. You become a true guide for healing. So let's dive in. Emotional pain isn't always obvious, but it is stored in the body. And here's the truth. The body remembers everything, even if we, our memory, or our clients don't remember it. And what the mind can't process in the moment, things like trauma, grief, betrayal, fear, all of that becomes stored in the body. It tucks tight into the hips, the gut, the jaw, the heart space, and several other parts of the body. It creates this protective layer of tension, patterns of bracing just in case, and pain that doesn't always respond to a specific technique or a modality. Here's the kicker. Most clients have no idea that it's emotional. They might say things like, I always carry tension here, or I've had this spot for years and it just flares up randomly. Or every time I get body work, it helps for a bit, but it comes right back. As a massage therapist, these are your green flags. These are your signals to know that their nervous system is trying to stay safe, that their body is holding a story that's not ready to be spoken, but actually needs to be witnessed in order to be released. Now, how do we recognize it on the table as a practitioner? There's a few things that I've learned to watch for over the years. Sudden tears during a session without any clear reason. A client may just be laying there and all of a sudden have a emotion come up and tears will be shed. A tightness that when you go into work feels like the body's guarding or protecting something. I know that when my massage therapist in Louisiana worked on me for years, oh gosh, bless her. She worked on me so hard. She would sweat because she was working on me so hard. Because every time she would get into my shoulders and she would try to release this one spot, this one place right in my scapula, my body would push back against her. And I didn't know, and I don't know if she knew, but now I know that I was protecting something. So if a client is pushing back or there's a tightness or you feel the sense the body might be guarding something, this is a sign. Clients who tend to flinch or freeze when you approach certain areas, the hips, the abdomen, the jaw, the chest. Um, I know that when people used to do jaw work on me, I would get very guarded. Same thing about my rib cage or my hips, right? I would twitch and I would flinch, and I knew that they were safe and I knew that they were coming to help me. So it wasn't that knowing was enough. It was that my body was creating this defense naturally. If a client might be holding their breath or rapidly blinking, maybe their eyes are flickering a lot, maybe you see those eyelashes moving a lot, or their breathing is really fast. Maybe their breathing changes to very quick breath. Or maybe their facial expression changes. Maybe they grit their teeth for a minute or they, wince up at something. Another thing to look for is deep stillness or an energetic wall. Maybe they're super stiff or they try to help you, right? They're always holding their body parts up for you. They're not letting go. Sometimes they can talk through it. Sometimes they go completely silent. Sometimes they shift positions or avoid eye contact during the session. These are all nervous system responses. It has nothing to do with your technique, but what their body is processing because of what's happening in the session. And sometimes when we touch certain parts of the body, memories come up. Colors are seen, flashes are had, emotions happen. All normal. But here's the big question. What do we do as the therapist, the person who's holding space, the person who's working on the body, the person who they're here to trust? What do we do when we know the pain is not emotional and it's a nervous system response? Well, first, we don't fix it. This is not about becoming a counselor or a coach unless you're trained to doing that. I'm a mind body coach, and if you're interested in knowing what that looks like and to help people on the table, let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about it. But if you're not trained in this, we don't need to fix anything. Instead, you regulate yourself first. Your calm nervous system sets a tone. Mirror neurons are real. And you hold space without needing to explain anything or make it okay. You could say something along the lines of sometimes the body releases things that we didn't even know we were holding. And if you'd like to pause or adjust or slow down or even stop, please just let me know. We want this to make sure that it's safe, that the client is safe, that the movements and the techniques are slow, and we let the client lead. In my somatic training, we talk about client autonomy and client choice. This is a huge part of working with the nervous system regulation and the trauma body. And after the session or towards the end, you could always check in and ask how they're feeling. Maybe they don't know the emotion that they're feeling, but you could just say on a scale of 1 to 5, how are you feeling? One's really low or hard or sad. It's that negative side. And 5 would be really high, vibrant, charged emotionally, happy, etc. Right? Maybe just give them a scale. That might be the only way that they can answer that. I know for myself, I didn't even know what emotion was. I knew happy and sad and angry, but I didn't know things like apathy or indifferent or, um, things like that. So you could ask them on a scale of 1 to 5 how they're feeling. That might be an easier option for them. Um, you could also say things like, the area that I felt was holding a little more than tension. Did you notice that? They may say something and process it on their own. They may not need anything else. So your job is just to be present and have awareness, not to fix or change anything. Now, why does this matter? As a therapist, as a massage therapist or a body worker, an energy worker, whatever we're doing as we're helping someone heal through layers of their own life and their pain, when we understand how to recognize the emotional pain in the body, we stop chasing the symptoms. We stop looking for structural things or problems. We stop forcing release and pressing in with pressure, and instead we let the body move naturally. And also, the best part, which is what helped me so much evolve in this process, is I don't take it personally when they don't get the result because I know that emotion is a protective layer in their body. And so when they're safe, when they can be seen, then it moves. So me digging in and pushing in didn't always help, but holding and relaxing and softening allowed them to. We create sessions that feel seen, not just treated, and clients that will come back because real healing begins and trust is built. And when your work becomes transformational, not just relaxing, that's how we know we've hit another layer. So if you want to learn more about this work, let's connect. This is something that my entire life has been built around. If this conversation has lit you up, If you've been sensing that your sessions might have more to do, but you just don't know how or what to do with it, or maybe you just want clarity, or a skill on how to bring these things into your practice ethically and safely so that your clients can benefit. Let's talk about it. This is exactly the kind of work that we teach in the somatic trainings and continued education class. The Mind Body Mentorship has created a specific continued education training around this. And it's a intuitive and integrative session that you bring to your clients. I teach you the skills and moves, and you use it how you see fit. So if this sounds like something you want to talk about, let me know. We can schedule a time to connect. And I'll actually put a link in the show notes so you can find it easy. So thanks for joining me today. And next week, I'm going to bring you a very special guest, a massage therapist that I met recently who I very much resonated with. She is teaching all about how to use insurance in your massage practice. So if you're dealing with people who have had accidents or injuries or car wrecks, and you're thinking about doing some insurance claims with this, or you want to help those potential clients with insurance claims, don't miss this episode with me and Adrienne. She's going to share all about her work and exactly what to do if you want to start taking insurance. And it might be something that you want to look forward to in the future. Don't forget, what we do is important. You deserve support too. And this is more than massage. I'm Monique Derouen, and I'm so glad you're here. If this resonated with you, share with another therapist, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.